LDAP, the Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. What is LDAP? LDAP is based on the standards contained within the X500 standard, but is significantly simpler. And unlike X500, LDAP supports TCP/IP, which is necessary for any type of internet access. Because it is a simpler version of X500, LDAP is sometimes called the X500 Lite. It is a protocol for reading and writing directories over an IP network, and it is also a client-server implementation that processes an extensible schema for object classes. The advantages and disadvantages. For advantages, it provides a standard means of accessing data over a network, fast searches and retrieval of data, good security mechanism. As for the disadvantages, is the X500 heritage, the flexibility, which means it relies on namespace and schema, and the entries are not in ASCII format, which means it have to update needs special tools. And application vendors use directories in their own way, as well as there's also a lack of standardization in some areas. The user access and security. Simple authentication and security layer in LDAP v3. There's no authentication, which means that anonymous access is allowed and anyone can go into the system. Simple authentication. Clients provide DN and password as plain text. Simple authentication and security layer. Client and server negotiate a security mechanism. There's normally only two levels of access, read-only and read-write. LDAP is not limited to contact information or even information about people. LDAP is used to look up encryption certifications, pointers to printers, and other services on a network where one password for a user is shared between many services. LDAP is appropriate for any kind of directory-like information, whereby fast lookup and less frequent updates are in the norm. The X500 distinguished names. The most specific attribute is listed first. Here are some of the examples. LDAP also defines permission, set by the administrator to allow only certain people to access the LDAP database and optionally keep certain data private. It also defines schema, a way to describe the format and attributes of data in the server. For example, a schema entered in the LDAP server might define a groovy person entry type, which has attribute of instant message address and coffee roast preference. The normal attributes of name, email address, etc. will be inherited from one of the standard schemas, which are rooted in the X500 over here. How does the LDAP work? An LDAP directory service is based on a client-server model. One or more LDAP servers contain the data making up the LDAP directory tree or LDAP backend database. An LDAP client connects to an LDAP server over here and asks it a question. The server responds with an answer or with a pointer to where the client can get more information, typically another LDAP server. No matter what LDAP server a client connects to, it sees the same view of the directory. A name presented to one LDAP server references the same entry it would at another LDAP server. This is an important feature of a global directory service like LDAP. LDAP-aware client programs can ask LDAP servers to look up entries in a wide variety of ways. LDAP servers index all the data in their entries, and filters may be used to select just one person or group you want, and return just the information that you want. For example, here's an LDAP search translated into plain English. Search for all people located in Chicago whose names contains Fred and have an email address. Please return their full name, email, title, and description. As LDAP is an open protocol, applications need not worry about the type of server hosting the directory. LDAP for user authentication. Some of the services include login, rlogin, RSH, and etc. To work with LDAP, PAM modules should be configured for accessing LDAP. Over here. Go from application to the PAM to the LDAP server. The etc/NSS/NS switch config should also be configured to point at LDAP server. As a protocol, LDAP does not define how programs work on either the client or server side. It defines the language used for client programs to talk to servers and servers to servers too. On the client side, a client may be an email program, a printed browser, or an address book. The server may speak only LDAP or have other methods of sending and receiving data. LDAP may just be an add-on method. The LDAP-aware application. LDAP API are available for a number of programming languages including C#, Java, and Perl. Some of the applications examples are Apache Web Server, email clients such as Netscape, Mozilla Outlook, SendMail, and Samba. LDAP servers exist at 3 levels. There are the big public servers, large organization servers at universities and corporations, and the small LDAP servers for workgroups. Most public servers from around year 2000 have disappeared. Although directory versicon.com exists for lookup X509 certificates, the idea of publicly listing your email address for the world to see, of course, have been crushed by spam. While LDAP didn't bring us the worldwide email address book, it continues to be a popular standard for communicating record-based, directory-like data between programs. The application sent to the LDAP API libraries and moved into the LDAP servers. Come to the end of LDAP presentation.